with the librarians having access to the category of books where the books are kept. Then for the open library, it works with users going to correct the book themselves. Am I right? Okay. So with that, this system will only work for the closed library because the librarians are the only people that will know how to locate the book. For the users, they need to be educated on how to do that.
Maybe the question that I have is, why should I be forced to use your system, unlike using another open source system, which I can easily download and use at no much costs? Because we have a lot of free library management system out there.
Okay, so I guess for that, because there are a lot of library systems that can help you locate a book. And why are we making this system? Because this system is using the LED lights. And these LED lights are using low energy. So meaning that, because the other system that you do have are computerized, I guess, right? Yeah, the other system that you have are computerized. But with this system, it's going to go off as soon as you are not using it. So that means there's no energy that is passing if you are not using it. So like that, we are saving energy. Yes, sir.
I'm thinking, I don't know if you thought about this, because usually libraries now, you can search for a book, you go on a PC or laptop, if you are connected, you go into the library, and it will be able to show you whether the book has been borrowed or is still in the... So I was hoping maybe your system maybe can map out the whole library where each section category is with this idea that you have. I'm thinking you can do that. And once I check for the book, I'm able to see it's in ISO 3. What do you call this? Number 5 on the left-hand side. And then it will beep there so that as I'm going, it's giving me directions that this is where it is. To think of such kind of a system which can direct, maybe that can be helpful. I don't know.
I like the concept. It's an excellent concept. But I wonder if you've chosen the right application. My colleagues seem to be critical about the library. But I've seen something similar for parking lots. You know, when cars park in a multi-story parking lot where you can easily find the open space. But I would think there would be other similar applications, maybe for shopping, or I don't know, when you look for a seat in a stadium or some, but maybe I think you can try to think of other applications for a very nice system.
And just in addition, sir, so this system can also be tailored to physical users, like people that like using the physical library. So it can be very helpful to them, unlike the people that access the library resources online. Yes.
I think we can move to the other one. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Afternoon.
So you need to be on a mic.
Okay. Afternoon. Sorry, it's morning. Sorry. This project, first and foremost, we're more of like creative innovators before we can actually get to the recycling, and which is the main goal of our project. But I would like to say that we're more of innovators first than anything else. So I don't know if our judges are familiar with any of like James Terrell, Jeff Koons. These are basically artists, and they make what we call, or what I can refer to as avant-garde art, which is art that's very modern, and it's a different way of doing things. So at the same time, when the whole theme of our fair here is we're trying to raise environmental awareness of innovation. So basically, as creatives, or as what we're trying to do, is we would like to take as much waste materials from the environment and see what sort of artistic creations we can make out of them. So, in, so this is an example of it. This is recycled. These are all we could have gotten more, but basically the idea is if we could pick up as many littered packs of, they can be wrappers, they can be cigarette sticks, they can be bottles. If we can collect as much and hopefully gather them in a gigantic way, and we can create some art in them. And by art, we're not talking about like small accessories. We're talking about art bars or things that can be, for example, this. Okay, the main idea of this is not this, but what we're trying to do is this idea. We look to create like a cuboid of about it can be 6 feet high and 6 feet wide, entirely out of cigarette packs that have been used. So at the same time, these are littered and a waste material. We're recycling and cleaning the environment, but at the same time, we also help to make something that's of aesthetic value, something that you can put in a museum, something that you can put in a house, something that you can display. Hopefully, you can sell, and it has a lucrative value to it in that regard. So the prototype of this, I think our goal personally is we notice how much litter the cigarette packs create. So we talked with my friends to say, what if we can create a cube, like I earlier elaborated? That's good. If we go to statistics.com, it says in 2020 alone, about 5 billion cigarettes were smoked. In terms of littered tubs, about 5 billion of them littered and thrown into the environment. So on that account, that gives us a proper estimation in terms of like products, not really products, in terms of utilities that we can use to create this art on the account. So we took statistics or best of cigarettes. So in the regard of these tops, we can find that out of 5 billion are smoked. That's a lot for us to create a lot of artistical products. Yes, but that's enough for us to create a lot of artistic products or expressions.
I just wanted numbers like you've mentioned 5 billion
Yes, in 2020 alone.
in 2020 alone. So I don't know why you were using feet when you were in the metric system. You were saying 6 feet,
Yes,
5 feet. Why are you using feet instead of meters, centimeters?
maybe it's just the articulation.
Okay. Apart from that, like if you give a dimension of whatever artistic product, we wanted to hear how many of these can be held in a 6 feet, 5 feet, following your language. Yeah. Like if we do this and then the motivation of having people put in a certain place where you can easily get the waste products like bottle tops and so on, what motivation, what things can you put there creatively to encourage people to be putting in designated areas?
Yes, I think my motivation to that is relax. My motivation to that is I've noticed how when you go in society, there are children who go around picking these bottles that we've thrown or they recycle them, usually in form of alcohol bottles. They're usually recycled in that regard. And those kids are incentivized to say, if you pick up this so and so amount, they actually get some money for picking them up. So basically, if let's say I was running a corporation or a business, our incentive or our investment would be to incentivize people who can recycle as much. Let's say our corporation is incentivizing people or children in the environment to pick up as many bottle tops as they can in as many sacks or as many plastics as they can, and they can get that. And mind you, those things are very inferior of value. They don't really have value. Only us who are purchasing from them will deal on them. So in terms of the investment, we're not really investing a lot on the products to create something of much artistic value. And I think I mentioned this in my application.
That's what I wanted. That's the idea. So what I wanted was, if you do this, you encourage, if a kid picks so much, they can make so much because they're already doing it. So I wanted numbers. You are not in the society. You are students. So you always put numbers to whatever you do. This is how much. And then, the idea is you are empowering even the vulnerable. Those who are going to pick, they will have a livelihood. So they can make so much and they can even go to school and just think about putting numbers to whatever you are talking about.
Yeah, I just want to comment. I think it's a nice idea because it can also help to clean up areas. So there's an artistic value not only in your product but also in removing rubbish from the environment. And one must think if there's any economic benefit of that you can add to what he's commenting on.
We only have one question. What health aspects have you considered in this project when it comes especially to cigarettes? Because even right now we're able to get scents. So there maybe I love art, right? But I've got asthma. Now I bring out a huge model in my room. And then I start getting that scent. Won't I get sick again?
No, you won't, because we are artists and we'll take that initial step. This is a poor rendition of the prototype, but as artists, we'll take that step to beautify it. If it means spraying them, if it means adding perfume, painting them, and adding all sorts of scent to beautify it, I think that's the whole essence of the product, of the idea. But we're mainly trying to focus more on these materials that are in the environment: bottle tops, bottles, waste cans, even as far as materials like papers. Because if we can get all those papers in the environment, it's very possible to create like a canvas of art that we can, and create a face of it, or any, say you've hired us to say, I would like my face or a picture of my face, and we'll say, okay,